Many times you will ask yourself why you cannot create, why you cannot feel inspired, why you have a blockage. And I think that's one of the most desperate times, many times as an artist, as a creative individual, because you don't know if you're going to just be there for a few minutes, few days, for months, or for years. Now, I had this happen to me, and I actually had a block, a creative block for 10 years that I did not create, but that's another story. For this time, I feel a little bit stressed and frustrated, and I'm in a deadline. And for me to be able to lose that creative tension is creating something organic, something abstract, some mixed media, which I love. And that's what I'm doing in this project. Come on with me, and I hope to inspire you. From time to time, if you're a creative individual, a creative soul, you will find that you will find a kind of blockage once in a while on your career, or and that's what happens with me. And I think it's most people, artists or creative people, will find that the way that I move forward or trying to break that cycle is to do a mixed media project. Can be a collage or some kind of canvas art that it just brings me a different type of tools and brushes that I can mix paper and stuff like that, like a collage. So I just started this time with an old canvas that I had, and you can see that by the staples on the sides. And it won't matter at this point because they will be covered with the gesso and then the papers and the paint that I'm gonna have. And this is like an exploration. I have no particular idea what it's gonna come up with. I'm just trying to let it flow and go from there. I use two different type of brushes, applying my gesso, which creates different textures. I am not planning to sand this canvas. Sometimes I do want a smoother surface, and I'll do a little bit of sanding. But this time it's just gonna be those brush strokes you can see with the movement of the light. Now, some of the tissue collage that I'm going to be applying is in a previous project. You can see the video link on the description of this video, and then refer to it for more ideas how you can color the tissue and how to apply it pretty much with any acrylic medium. I use the one of the Golden Brand products, but you can use any Mod Podge or any kind of glue with water. It works. I mean, you don't have to spend any extra money on. You just look around the house and see how you can make it work. So I do several coats. This one has 3 coats of gesso, and it is pretty thick gesso. So I kind of like that because I wanted like I said, the textures and the brush strokes to show in the painting, even though that I don't have a particular idea on this. This do help me in having my creative thoughts flow. It helps me to just release the tension of meeting a deadline and no expectations on my behalf. I would recommend you to find what is your happy medium in any project. If you do any craft or writing or just doodling in a blank piece of paper, to just keep moving forward. The approach that sometimes is very common in this type of situations is that we don't want to create, and that's it. We close the room or we close the book, the canvas, and that's it. We don't create, and that's something that you really have to move against that type of energy and just do an effort at least to start. I selected in this canvas blues and hues and any kind of tones on that aqua colors, and I wanted to just be calming and kind of abstract. That's the main thing. Which even though I'm going to be adding a mixed media, I will be adding different type of acrylics, different types of brands that I have around the house. Like I said, this is a free project. I use a couple of stamps. This is a ceramic stamp. It didn't work very well like I was expecting, But the bubble wrap is always fun to use, and you can create a whole bunch of patterns. Also, I use the palette knives, and you have to be careful with your palette knives, especially with the metal ones, because they can go through the canvas. So just make sure that you are gentle when applying it at the beginning until you get the hands on how to put the pressure and what kind of pressure your canvas will tolerate. I grab a couple also brushes to just create some brush strokes and create some dimension on the patterns that I was adding to this particular composition. The other thing that I was experimenting is with the how much water I was applying in the acrylics, and splattering it, just random splatters. And I help the canvas to just move around and create those splatters, which it will give you different patterns. So don't be limited to what you think is going to be the top and the bottom, because many times, which I have seen, the client likes, totally the opposite direction where you were intended to paint the paint. So it's not up to you. It's, art is expressive, and the interpretation, it comes from the viewer and the collector pretty much. So, but this type of watermarks, and I added different type of different amounts of water, and it will just help it drip in different ways, and I kind of like that effect, which it creates a little bit translucent, because I'm using different amounts of water to do the splatters. So when it dries, you will see the difference on the pigment. It's easier for me to mix my paints with the little palette, and then just apply from there, or just the brush is up to the inspiration that comes along. But because I stayed in these blues and these hues, it was a little bit easier for me to create different shades that it is coming up. I let some of the brush strokes to dry, and then if you come back, let them dry first, and then it will create some dimensional translucency on the painted itself, because it's drying at different times. So don't be afraid to experiment. Like this one has different blues, but like this blue this blue color has different tonality, and I'm splattered in it again. And the first color that was like a more like a greenish hue, it's already dry, so this one is laying on top of that dryness, and it is just catching different tonalities in there, which I really like. After the paint is down, I decided to go ahead and do the paper collage, and I'm very much fan of the tissue paper because it's translucent. It doesn't look like stickers on the in your painting. It looks more blended to my taste, which is the effect that I'm looking for. And I'm only going around to see what shapes or shadows I wanted to embellish according to the organic expression in here, and not too much overwork on it, because that is not the purpose of this particular piece. It really helps me to use the long brushes, and many times I use the brushes for the oil paintings. So don't be afraid to use a combination of brushes, and the thickness, and how far you hold your brush to put a brush stroke in there, because you won't be able to duplicate that brush stroke. That's what makes your piece unique. This part, the paper has been pasted. Like I said, if you want to see more in detail about the paper technique, in the description of this video, there is a link to the previous videos that I have, where I go more in detail how to color the tissue and apply it to it. But it's the same collage technique. I look for the same hues, tonalities, and I added some yellow just to make some contrast in there. And now I'm using the mixture in here with a little bit of the acrylic, and trying to create some not the cells itself, but just a different type of a texture or dripping texture around it. Not sure yet what I was doing, but I said, you know what? I have some extra paint. Let's use it because that is the main purpose. I also use some scrapbooking paper, and I use Japanese paper in this piece. And I have some older napkins that they had some cute illustrations that they just blend to the background. It's just really, really, really nice in the effect that I was looking for. So when you do, even if it is an abstract, trying to do a composition of where is your focal point, and then go from there. It depends what kind of flow do you want. A full, a variety of themes or only one theme is up to you. Don't inhibit yourself. Don't inhibit your creativity. It is always a good idea to not be afraid first. It's always a good idea to make sure that you test your products before in another a smaller area, canvas or even a cardboard, because everything, if you gesso it, it will adhere to that surface, that substrate. This is the Floetrol that it is used. Actually, you can buy it in the hardware store. It is a little bit more economic than trying to get it online, or you can get it online. It is like an additive for the painting, for the paint, the regular paint, and you mix it, and it reduces the brush stroke. So originally that's what it is made, but now we use it as artists and crafters. We use it for the pouring, the painting pour effects and the sails and all those funny curls and everything. And here I am not looking for that, like I said, because I wanted to just be a collage mixed media, abstract kind of thing, showing the technique of the translucity and the beauty of the papers, and layering on top, and kind of that effect on. But I wanted to put few of these colors together and then see what they do on the canvas. So I'm carefully adding half and half of the Floetrol with the acrylic painting, the acrylic paint that I had around the house, and I'm gonna just do align it on the corner, on the right, in the left corner, which it will be pretty much the bottom. I'm working upside down of this. But like I said, I mean, if it is going to a collection, the collector can just do whatever they wanted or how they want to hang it. So I'm trying to do a little lines of different colors in there first, and then I'm gonna drag them with a tissue paper and just run them and see what effects will do. I am actually adding gold, acrylic gold painting, which it gives them a shimmery effect. And because it was too light in my taste, I wanted more gold. I am gonna be using also nail polish, which is gold color, and then I will create some effects with that you will see later on this video. And here I am adding, different lines of different colors, and then see how will that play on the and the pulling and drying on the drying of the paper. And of course, there is no right or wrong. This is your creative expression. This is your area. I just grab a paper towel and let it soak first, and then I'm just dragging it, trying to get some tracing in there with the different hues of blues that I had. Nothing fancy, just I wanted to see the soft drag in there. So that's what I was looking for. I speed it up on the with a heat gun. Very minor cells were formed because I'm only using the Floetrol plus the acrylic. I didn't put any water or anything else. So. Then I decided to grab a little bit of alcohol, and I said, why not? I put it in a plastic little bottle, which is a spray bottle, and put a little bit of alcohol, and then I decided to just mist it very, very light. And yes, it did separate it a little bit different on the little tiny itty bitty cells in there. Nothing exaggerated, and it was just you can hardly tell with the lights, the lighting, but it is right there. This particular piece is already selected for exhibit in Temecula, California, in the Merck Gallery during the month of July. So it's a collaborated exhibit with the Temecula Valley Art League. It's a nonprofit organization that has been founded in 1977. So they do their annual exhibit at the Merck. And this year, this piece plus another one that I'm plus another acrylic painting are assigned to be displayed there during the full month of July. If you are in the area, you can see it in person, which is completely different. So at this moment, I'm applying actually the nail polish on gold, and that's what it looks a little bit more defined. And it really made the difference in which I was looking for in my mind. And I'm going to go ahead and continue using the nail polish as the gold. And I had some filament strands, like kind of vinyl lines, very, very thin. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be dipping them in that gold color and then creating some very thin lines that a brush will not give me, or very hard will give me that kind of effect. And that's what I encourage you. If you see, gather your supplies, even the odd ones, even something that you don't even think that you will use in your painting or in your creations, and don't be afraid to experiment. And who cares if someone tells you, oh no, that's not the way that you should use it. Use it. Use it, because maybe it's not their taste or their opinion, but it doesn't mean that it is not allowed in your creations. So in here you see the lines in here, very, very thin. And I really love this effect because it just brings a little bit of light and a sparkle to the viewer. I hope that you like this video, and remember to subscribe, comment, and let me know your thoughts. Looking forward to see some of your creations. Don't be shy, and I hope this inspires you. And remember to celebrate a creative life every day.